In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight, and that is Cash Kraus. And today is a special day, Cash.
A very special day. You see the smile on my face.
Of course.
You know I'm happy.
And you know what? I'm happy too, because we have talked about this on this podcast for about 2 years. I confided in you probably 2 years ago on the podcast. I had never seen this film that we are about to review today. Why don't you tell me?
And my reaction was shock.
Very shocked.
Shock. Because it's somehow like you've somehow managed to like work your way around this giant piece of iconic like Americana at this point.
Right?
But we are reacting to, The Matrix. 1999.
Yes.
The Wachowskis' cyberpunk epic, The Matrix, Mason. I can't believe watching this. There must have been so many scenes that you've seen played out in other movies.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Because this movie is so satired by now. Because it's so, but like the bullet time and the agents, you must have been all that. The red and blue pill. That must have been all been clicking as you're like, oh, now I get that reference.
Yeah, of course.
That people have been saying for 21 years.
This was just one of those movies that I had seen on TV. I'd seen those like cut twos or whatever. I'd only basically seen the opening scene of this film, you know, like where they're chasing him and the phone call thing, you know. And, turn right, turn left.
Yep.
But that was essentially all I had ever seen of this film, and I never got around to watching this movie.
Blows my mind, because it is one of my, I mean, I say this quite a bit, but it is top 10, one of my favorite movies of all time. Wow. I've seen it easily 30 times, probably. But,
that's impressive.
Yeah. The second movie, Matrix Revolutions, was the first R-rated movie I saw in theaters.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I was 2003, so I was around 7 or 8.
Okay.
And there's a sex scene during it, like an orgy scene.
Whoa.
And I remember my dad having to cover my eyes during it.
He's like, you're like, Dad, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it.
I knew it was going on. I was 8, and I was already fucking. You know I was coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe it, man. I was nervous about you watching it. I was, I almost wanted to be there to make sure that you were like catching everything and be like, Mason, did you? But that would have been really annoying.
And and you told me to watch it on the biggest screen possible, so I actually watched it on this TV in the studio.
Good. That is how it's meant to be
real close
watched.
to the TV. So
good, as close as possible.
I burned some, some brain cells watching it.
But yeah, it's not. This movie's definitely not meant to be watched edited on TV, on TNT or whatever, where they're editing out. It needs to be watched in its most purest form.
Right, and in its entirety.
Absolutely.
How the film was meant to be portrayed.
Well, Mason,
watched, rather.
Did you walk away from this thinking, oh my God, I'm living in a fucking simulation? Because that's how everyone in 1999
walked away from this film. I could totally see that.
Because you gotta think this came out, internet was new. Was brand new. I mean, the internet wasn't brand, but people being able to use it before, it was just a military thing that people used.
Right.
But people were starting to use it as, just a regular thing in the 90s, in the 1990s, then early 2000s reboot. So people were fucking blown away by this. They were questioning everything.
And rightfully so. I mean, this would make you
absolutely
question everything. And not only that, but I could see like right away when I watched this movie and we were getting through the film, which we will inevitably, but I kept thinking what is real and what is fake. And I even mean like when he would wake up and when he'd go to sleep, I'm like, is this a dream? Is this the Matrix? Is this reality?
Now,
what is real?
You are there.
What is
now
real?
you are awake for the first time in your life,
I am.
Mason. For the first time in your life, your eyes are open. You're seeing what the reality of it.
Absolutely.
Because immediately when this movie came out, there was always speculation that him waking up was another level of the Matrix. That the AIs worked so well that they knew people would be, humanly wanting to break out.
Right.
So they made another level. And that you get that deep and you keep going deeper, and then your mind gets really fucked up.
Yes.
So just on surface level, assume there's only one level of the Matrix.
Okay, good. That's kind of the first thing. We got that out of the way because that was my thought initially.
Exactly.
I'm like, what if this is just another step in this?
Yeah, because these AIs are so sophisticated.
Advanced.
They made such a real world. It's crazy to think
You
about. This
don't
movie
even
is
know.
so, on the surface, it's just a cyberpunk sci-fi movie, but it's so like philosophical, and it really does make you question everything that you know about your life.
Since seeing this movie, has Morpheus come and talk to you at all? Let
Only
you
in
in
my
on
dreams.
the Matrix? Did
Only
he let
in my
you,
dreams,
The
brother.
red pill, the blue pill. Did he offer you these? Like, what is going on here?
Only in my goddamn
And I love
dreams.
it too. You take that pill and you can never come back because your eyes are actually wide open.
And everyone likes to say they take the red pill. Oh, everyone, I take the red pill.
Not always.
9 times, I'd say 99%. And that's something I love about the directors, the Wachowski sisters, is that early on in an interview, they both said, no, we take the blue pill. Yep. They said, you go to sleep, because the red pill, you take it, and life fucking sucks from here on out. And Cypher knows that more than anyone.
And that's what I was gonna bring up. Not everyone would take that red pill, and if you do take that red pill,
regret it.
you can regret it very severely, like that Cypher character.
And it's the whole thing where Morpheus is kind of taking advantage of these people that have no idea what it is. He's tricking them.
He is definitely
essentially
tricking them. Yeah.
But he's doing it for a reason, and that's kind of the
For the
whole element
rebellion,
of it.
too.
Yeah, for everything. He's doing it for the right reason, but he might not be doing it the best way.
And he might not be 100% truthful.
And he's never 100% on who is the next one. He's been going through a lot of people to figure out.
Yeah. And you find out that he's made plenty of mistakes already.
Well, Cypher, it was originally supposed to be the one also. It turned out he was just an asshole. No one liked
just
him.
a real prick.
But
a real selfish man.
The acting in this though is amazing though.
It is.
More Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. It's like
awesome.
it's one of the most iconic roles of all time.
Yes.
It goes right up there with Vader for me. It's so iconic, man, that it's such a perfect role. And there's so many people that were going to have that role before him.
And I got to talk about Agent Smith, Hugo Weaving. He was also in Lord of the Rings.
Hugo Weaving's in fucking everything.
Well, I know,
He's he's the Red Mask or whatever, and Captain America.
That's right. Yeah.
He's been in everything, man. I want him so badly in a Star Wars film as a Sith. That means he would have been in Matrix, Avengers, and fucking Lord of the Rings, the biggest franchises.
But luckily for him, in Lord of the Rings, he was a good guy.
He plays Elrond, of course. Yeah.
Right. The head elf.
But yeah, he's just fucking what he did to this character with like the monotone and everything like that, and how he made it seem like half machine, half person. It was just fucking perfect.
And it was very eerie and dark and scary too, because you knew it was AI talking to all these characters, but it was the AI was enjoying watching these people die and suffer.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you brought this up, because that's how well the program was written. Because imagine a program being written so well that its entire goal is to become obsolete. Because remember, he just wants out. He wants to be no longer to exist. Is how well that program is written, that any kind of human breaking out, it makes him like physically ill, although he can't feel anything physically. It's good, man. It's one of those movies where it was just the perfect storm of everything.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. No one wanted to greenlit this movie. All executives said it was too complicated. It's typical fucking higher ups thinking people were too dumb to understand it.
Yes.
And everyone that read the script was like, this script's fucking amazing. It has to be written. But execs fought this thing tooth and nail the entire fucking time. Yeah. They wanted a popular story is right when they started filming everything, the execs were getting really scared. It was going way over budget and everything. So the filmmakers just got the first 10 minutes done immediately, the Wachowskis, and sent that into the execs. And once the execs saw the first 10 minutes, they said, okay, we'll give you all the money. Because originally they wanted $60 million, and the execs said $10 million. Is that fucking insane?
Yeah, that's insane. Especially in 1999.
Yeah.
For the type of CGI that they needed.
So the story was that just first 10 minutes was $10 million, but it wasn't the case. But they finished just that 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes first off, and sent it in, and they said, okay, these guys know what they're doing.
And obviously, this film was made for $63 million. Turned around, it made $465 million at the box office. Absolutely blew up.
Hell, man, it was revolutionary. It changed the game.
It did. It won 4 Academy Awards, too.
Only movie to win 4 Academy Awards and not be nominated for Best Picture. Isn't that fucking
Strange,
bullshit?
isn't it? Yeah.
It's because the Academy didn't know what to do with this movie.
Right.
I mean, they didn't know, but it should have been for sure nominated for Best Picture, without a doubt.
Well, and that's the thing. It was nominated for Best Film Editing, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects, but doesn't get Best Picture.
Yeah,
a nom at least.
Or nothing. Yeah, or nothing. Not Best Writing, not Best Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay. How does this
that not win it?
This is one of those things where you watch it, and if you even read the screenplay, you think, oh fuck, I can never be a writer. Because these guys are geniuses. They're geniuses. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, the special effects was what blew everyone away. I mean, they changed the game for special effects. They had to invent a bunch of new technology just for like the bullet time and everything. No one has seen that before.
No, of course
not. The
not.
wire work and everything, that was only things done in like kung fu movies and shit like that.
Well, and I guess they based this off of Japanese animation.
The choreography.
The action sequences.
It was based off one of the Wachowski's favorite anime is Ghost in Shell. Which we did,
reviewed.
Unfortunately,
we did.
We didn't do the anime, we did the live action.
We did,
which was
with
horrible, not very good.
ScarJo.
Yeah. Somehow that didn't work out.
No, it did not.
But yeah, they loved, and there's even an Animatrix, another 2003 anthology Matrix film that's all animated, and it's like that.
Well, this franchise went on to like make video games and everything.
Comic books, games,
everything under the sun. And 2 sequels as well. And a 4th coming next year.
Absolutely, hopefully. Which is perfect timing for us to do.
It definitely is.
Perfect timing. Yeah. Should we get into the plot?
Let's jump into this plot.
So right at the start, we get that opening, the famous opening of we get introduced to the Agent Smiths, and they're talking to the regular cops that have no fucking idea they're living.
No idea.
Wake up, you assholes. But yeah, they're talking to the Agent Smiths, and the agents, you love it because right at the start, they're like, your men are already dead. Remember, he's like, I got to get up there to the cop. He's like, don't worry about it. They're already dead. They're like, who the fuck is that guy? Mm-hmm. They have no idea. It's Trinity up there just
mauling away at people.
And something I love about this movie is the extras look like regular cops. They're not all stuntmen or whatever.
No, they're not.
The first guy she kicks is some fat guy that flies and pins another guy
hits the wall, too. Yeah.
But, yeah, the fight choreography in this film, man, is unbelievable. They got like the master, like this. I can't remember his name, but he's as famous as they come. Go to the very start.
Hong Kong stunt coordinator Wu Ping
Young. He's like the best of the best. They got him, and somehow they managed to convince him. Because at first he wouldn't do it.
No,
he said, "Okay, I'll do it, but I have complete control over everything." Mm-hmm. And they thought there's no way he would allow him to. And the Wachowskis were like, fuck yeah. Come on, boy. Because this guy he's the master. He's done Kill Bill. He's done older movies like Drunken Master, like the first Jackie Chan movie. He's been everywhere, man. He's done everything. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, man.
Yeah, Crouching
Kung
Tiger.
Fu Hustle, one of my favorite. Kill Bill. He's done everything.
Wow.
So yeah, right at the start, it's the big chase scene. Chasing on the rooftop. This is the scene that they shot the first 10 minutes of. But Trinity's being chased on the rooftop by the agents.
Yes.
And they aren't all Agent Smiths, by the way. They're just called agents because some of them look different. But we get the clip of them first. The first thing they're doing is like they're breaking the rules. He jumps over that huge fucking gap, and the cop behind him is like, "That's impossible." Mm-hmm. But these guys, man, they aren't fucking.
They're not human.
They ain't right.
No, they're not human,
right.
man.
But yeah, she gets that awesome scene of her jumping through the window in like the super spinny dive. It's awesome, and it's a really cool scene because she jumps through the window and she pops up waiting like he was gonna follow, follow that.
Like, I'm not gonna do that. No way.
Even as an agent, he's like, I'll wait for it. But yeah, and we get that they run back and forth through the telephone hard lines. Mm-hmm. We don't know that quite yet, but
she just disappears.
Exactly.
Right before they hit her with that car. Yeah.
And then we get introduced to Thomas Anderson, our Neo.
Yeah. With its Keanu Reeves himself.
Yes, and he's so good in this. It's a perfect role for him because he's always acting like he has no idea what's going on. And that's a perfect role for a young Keanu Reeves.
Absolutely.
Half of his dialogue in this were questions asked. He really played the character of like the audience because they were so worried about they wanted to change the dialogue to where it's like 90% them explaining everything.
Right.
And it didn't make any sense for the film. Yeah. So again, they just thought people are so dumb. Like it's I don't know. But yeah, he's a hacker. He's a computer programmer.
Yeah.
And he goes by the name alias Neo.
Neo.
Which is an anagram for the one.
The one, yes.
If you didn't know.
I did know that, actually.
But yeah, and he's
and Neo actually stands for newer born too.
Well, it's Latin for new.
Yeah.
Neo, yeah. Like neo-noir is like new black. But yeah, he's seen some weird shit and he keeps finding the phrase the Matrix. And he's just like hacker.
And on his computer screen,
exactly.
too.
Someone's talking to him on his computer screen. We find out it's Trinity talking to him. And she tells him, follow the white rabbit.
Which is definitely an Alice in Wonderland. They kept doing that over and over.
Well, this movie took heavy influence from Alice in Wonderland and a ton of different other like philosophical. But yeah, it's for sure. You could see, he goes deeper down the rabbit hole. And that's what Morpheus tells him. But he goes to this... well, first we see him. He's giving like a little cartridge to some guy. And man,
we've come to find out that those are illegal right away too. You're definitely not supposed to be having these.
When this first dropped, man, everyone was guessing what's on that cartridge. Everyone thought that it was the Matrix on there, that he had already figured it out or something, and that there's so many.
Really?
It really turned out that in a previous script they say what's on there. It's a software for deleting parking tickets. Because Mary says, don't let that thing get tracked back to me. Mm-hmm. That's all it is, yeah.
Oh.
But everyone wanted to believe that...
it was already the Matrix.
It was something bigger, yeah. But, yeah, so he goes to a party and he sees Trinity, and she kind of just tells him what kind of shit that's going on, that he's going to get contacted by Morpheus. And he does, that he's going to be contacted by a guy named Morpheus. But he kind of knows who Morpheus is, because in the hacker world already, they kind of know this guy. They know Trinity and everything like that.
He's kind of like a hidden figure.
Exactly. Or like a ghost even.
Right.
But yeah, so next day he wakes up at his work, and who is fucking at his job? Goddamn agents.
And a bunch of cops as well.
Shit ton of cops.
A lot of cops. They were able to sway the police to help them.
Yeah, well, it's not really swaying because
that's true.
You just click in a computer program.
I mean, they're gonna do what you say,
and you'll know later on that the agents they control. Morpheus says it. They're the gatekeepers. They control everything in and out, and they can change the programming as it goes. And we find when they're going in the building, and they change the programming of the windows
to being brick walls. And not only that, but they are impossible to defeat.
Yes.
Everyone who has stayed and fought these agents have died.
Yep. And you can kill them because they were still rely on... I mean, you can't kill them. You can kill the body that they're in, but they can transform into another body.
Yeah.
So it's better off to run is pretty much what they say.
Right. Always run. It's like the Terminator.
Are fast as hell.
They are very fast. And that subway scene, too. We won't get to it yet, but it was great.
Good. When he walks out of the subway.
Yeah. And then he reemerges out of the train in a new body.
Okay, I'm done now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we fought a little bit. Yeah, you can't kill them because they break the rules. I mean, they bend the rules. Mm-hmm. They can be faster because the whole thing is they still have to rely on the rules of the Matrix. So they can't like fly around or lift trucks or anything like that. But they can bend it.
Right.
So yeah, they go to his work and Morpheus calls him. Basically, it doesn't work out for him. They tell him to go on the edge. He's a big pussy at this moment. He can't do it. Because, again, he's thinking, this is all real. I'm going to die.
I don't want to do this. Yeah.
But so he ends up getting caught by Agent Smith.
But I love the scene. I love the scene that sets it up, though, because the whole time he goes, you do exactly what I say and you will live.
Very tense. Very well shot scene.
And they're all cubicle scenes and everything. And like he said, go now. And he would cross. And it was kind of like this cat and mouse game where the agents are trying to find him, and he's moving through different cubicles, different offices.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Scene.
Yeah.
It's very well shot.
And he almost gets away. He does almost get away. But they're asking too much of him. Mm-hmm. Just too much right off the gate.
Yep.
But yeah, it's super. And you'll see color contrast in this movie is so important. What they do with each and every scene. Any scene that's in the Matrix has a green tint over it, like you're looking through a computer screen. and any scene out of the Matrix has a blue tint because that's technically supposed to be natural.
And I guess the only time that it was not blue or green was when they weren't in either, which had a yellow tint.
When they were just in simulations, when they never entered, and that's really the only time you see it is the red dress lady, and when they're fighting in the dojo, which is all yellow tint. It's a
which I love the dojo scene. We got to talk about that when we get to it. Yeah.
So they get caught by the agents, and the agents bug Neo with a literal bug.
Yeah, a literal bug.
And that's the thing about this is like you'll see parallels of in the Matrix of like bugs you get in a computer and stuff like that, and you'll see parallels, but they like physical things.
Yes.
Yeah, they bug him.
They do.
A crazy scene. And the CGI for being 21 years in this movie.
Incredible.
You would think it was made last year. It's insane. It just shows you how bad some movies are these days that can't do a good job with CGI with how much the technology is advanced. Yeah.
But how much is at your disposal now in 2020 compared to what was available back in 1999?
We're there literally from day to day inventing new technology to shoot this. But no, we can't. No, it's crazy to me. But a fucking Transformers movie looks like it was made by a 13-year-old. Yeah. It's insane. So anyways, they ended up letting him go.
They do.
And he ends up getting picked up later on by
and I love,
Trinity.
Real quick, I love that scene with the agent and Keanu Reeves where he goes, I know my rights. I want my phone call. And he goes, kind of laughs.
Well, it's so iconic.
How are you going to make a phone call if you can't speak?
Mr. Anderson. That was such a famous line when that came out. That first line that he speaks, Yeah, exactly. And they close his mouth, showing that they can change the rules.
Yep. Which freaked the
such
hell out of Keanu Reeves or Mr. Anderson.
It's such a good bad guy role, man. It's so iconic as that bad guy. I think it's even better than the T-1000 and T2. You know, it's taken to another level where he's so scary because of how bad he wants to kill you. Mm-hmm. I mean, just because he just wants out, man. He wants out of that fucking Matrix. So Trinity ends up finding him or whatever, and basically they get the bug out of him, which is not an easy process.
It's not. It electrocutes
through the belly button.
Yeah, and when that thing was getting inserted into him,
it comes out, it's got like a bunch of fucking juice and stuff on it. Yeah, it's not good. But they throw that out and they take him to Morpheus.
Yep.
God of the dreams. That's what Morpheus is. That's what in Greek Morpheus was god of the dreams.
Yep. Wow, look at that. Look at how they're doing this.
Because he wakes people up, right? Mm-hmm. He offers him, we know how it goes, offers him a red pill, offers him the blue pill.
It's your choice. Make a choice. And something about this film, too, is it's always based on choice. If you look at the dialogue, it's always a choice every single time.
Well, he says right during this scene, Neo, do you believe in fate? And Neo goes, no, because I don't like thinking everything's predestined. Like, I'm not in charge of my own fate. And then he goes, great. Because I'm about to give you a choice that's going to rock your fucking world, bud. Mm-hmm. And he brings out 2 pills. And if someone's offering you pills, hell yeah, bro. You're popping those immediately. I don't need.
Just give me both of them.
Yeah, I don't need. Let me get right in the middle. Let me get right in the middle. But he takes a red pill, and the reality is slowly stripped away of what the Matrix is. Yeah. It's some kind of pill that... well, what they say, it reveals the truth, but it really shows where he's at in the battery pack, so they can go pick him up.
Right.
So he takes the blue pill, and his world, what a fucking trip that pill. He must have thought, man, the acid in that thing?
Oh, my God. Well, and then the instant regret of taking that pill.
This is kind of cold. And then the fucking mirror effect, which mirror's so hard to get CGI right. Somehow they did it, but the mirror, and it starts going, the mirror starts like going around his body.
His whole,
and then you get like it's the sound of like logging on the internet, that thing, but it's perfect, and that wakes him up. We figure out
he's in like an incubator.
Yeah,
like a weird alien, and he's all like strapped up. His body's just completely.
Imagine that, waking up to that shit. He's got to pull that big thing, and then a fucking giant robot comes out, and he's got no idea what's happening.
No. Well, I mean, even before the robot comes out, he wakes up, he leans forward, and he looks about the tens of millions of humans being harvested.
Tens of millions? It might be billions. Well, it goes on forever. I mean, this is their life support. So, I mean, it goes on. it never shows how grounded, and it never gets into that. It never
doesn't.
tells you.
Which I'm actually okay with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just open to.
Well, it's because it's the whole thing of the humans know very little about the outside world. I mean, the actual humans outside of the Matrix know very little about the last 100 years. There's no history.
It's
it's only been war.
Hearsay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they do.
Because this is actually set in 2199, but the Matrix is portrayed as the early 20th century.
1999. Yep.
Yeah, or the late 20th century rather.
Yeah, it's really then you start thinking about like so does it like restart every certain, because eventually they'll get to a point where it's the point where they went to war with the machines.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to
and then you just got to
unless maybe the program just keeps going and it just assumes what the world would look like.
Would have looked like, yeah.
And it becomes this perfect world.
So many things open to interpretation, man. I guarantee there's 5 million YouTube videos.
There
about
is. I know for a fact there is. And there's long, like almost books written about it.
Jeez.
I mean, just like fan fiction. It had nothing to do with the actual people making. Just people that have delved so deep into this movie. So yeah, they pick him up. That thing shits him out because he's no longer a good battery. So they just dump him in the river. I guess that's what they do with old batteries. And the hovercraft comes pick him up. The Nebuchadnezzar. What a fucking awesome name for a ship.
Nebuchadnezzar.
God,
Absolutely.
awesome. And Morpheus is there, and he's not looking so good. He's not looking as
not.
well as he was in the Matrix. And now Neo's starting to regret literally everything.
Everything. He's like, this guy does not look as cool as he appeared in the Matrix.
Because they're all kind of... it's cool because when they're not in the Matrix, they're all famished. They're kind of starving to death. They're all dirty and whatnot. But when they're in the Matrix, they're fucking healthy. They're
superhumans.
Amazing clothing.
Yeah.
Just the greatest taste.
Trench coats.
Yeah. Oh, it's Matrix catalog for sure. But so yeah, they wake him up and he explains everything. He explains that in the 21st century, humans created an intelligent. Humans were at their peak.
Yes.
And they created this new intelligence, that was one mind. And it doesn't get into it deep, but if you go back and watch the Animatrix, it goes prequel to prequel. Shows out that they started out with just regular robots, that were working with machines and stuff like that, and they got more and more advanced. And then the machines wanted rights. Humans fucking hated that.
Of course.
The history of humans giving rights to
even other humans?
Even people that aren't white
Right.
or women. We're not big fans of it.
Apparently not.
So it shows in the animatrix, it goes into detail, and the machines are doing everything they can to resolve it peacefully. Everything they can. And in a last-ditch effort, the humans...
take out the solar, right?
Yes, and it plunges the world into a crazy darkness. And it doesn't show in the Matrix, but it shows in, again, the Animatrix. It shows, they did it with some chemical. They destroyed this guy.
Yeah. In
one last ditch effort. And it ended up doing nothing.
I'd say it worked out for the AI more than it did the humans.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the humans the AI immediately had a backup plan.
Yeah.
They thought, man, this is going to get a lot worse. If you thought it was pretty bad, guess what makes a really good energy source?
Human flesh.
Human beings.
Yeah.
They put out a lot of energy.
I guess so.
But so that's what they did. The sun was blocked out, and they started plucking up these people. And because at first they were just killing everyone.
Yeah, they were.
But then they started saying, we got to keep a couple of them. And then they just started not breeding them, like they don't have sex with each other, but they just started... making these test tube babies, and that's how everyone's born. But they have to, your mind to put out energy has to be put to use.
Yeah, productive.
So
it can't be a vegetable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they make the Matrix. Crazy. And you live there, yeah. It sucks because some people in the Matrix are born into this amazing life. Imagine being born in the Matrix and you're a hobo, and you're like, I could have been anything. Like, it's a computer brain. It's completely random.
Like, come on. What are the odds here?
Exactly.
But again, if we are in the Matrix now.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
And you got to be thinking, that's such a good fucking program that they didn't make everyone super happy.
Yeah.
They made it to where, like, because if everyone is happy, everyone start questioning their existence.
Well, and that's what the agent brought up. He goes, they tried to do that initially in the early days. He brought that up in the film.
And it got too fucking complicated because if everyone has everything, then you start questioning everything.
Right.
You don't want them questioning anything.
Nope.
So they had to make war and all that. And it's crazy to think about that they did that. That all these wars are fake. just to
and
give
that they
us.
don't actually mean anything except for the
Yes.
furthering of this AI's matrix.
Yeah, exactly. So
and for the harvesting.
he
It's
tells them
crazy.
all that. I mean, he doesn't take it real well.
Well, no, I don't think majority of people would.
Yeah, and he tells them the city of Zion. If you go into watch the sequels or the final one, the second one, they go actually to the city of Zion.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's
Do
where the
they
orgy
go to-
scene takes place.
Ah, okay.
It's like this giant like festival where because there's always just because at this point humans are just happy to be alive.
Of course.
So every like year they have this giant festival where they just start getting crazy, start fucking everyone just starts fucking everyone.
That's wild.
You have to watch it.
Didn't you say the sequels weren't good?
Compared to this, so I don't like compared to the first one because the sequel has like I think a 78% Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's not a bad score.
Not horrible.
It's not like it's a 9%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one was just very disappointing to anyone that was a really big fan. They're not. It just sucks because it's the thing where it's like the first one was so much better than than any of the other ones. So you kind of hope that the ending, the last one, is going to be the best one.
So then my question to you, are you excited about Matrix 4 or no?
Very excited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I don't want to give anything away to you, but you'll
I know,
see.
'cause I haven't seen
Because
the
after the third
sequels
one,
yet.
it was to the point where like, oh, I just want more of what made this great, and not more of whatever you did to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't have any of the charm. After the first one was so popular, they're like, do whatever you want. You know, give you $1 million, and they ended up doing too much CGI. It's a classic bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he talks about the city is a refuge of Zion, is a refuge for humans, and Morpheus and his crews are rebel who hack. They're still hackers. They're hacking into the Matrix. They unplug enslaved humans, and they recruit them. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to recruit.
There's no other way to get employees.
No.
There's no application process. You
There
are
is
just
not.
plucked out, and it's great. It's absolutely great. But yeah, and he starts to understand the Matrix, and that's a simulation, but they can bend the physical rules.
They can.
And that they can learn fucking anything immediately. All they have to do is download.
I really did like that. The
So
downloading, it
fucking
was so
cool.
awesome. Because he's like, jujitsu,
Yep.
and then he learned all of jujitsu
And he
right
just
away.
keeps going more,
Yeah.
more. And he because he's down there all night.
And then he's like, man, this is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. He's on 10 hours.
Yep. He's like, I've
Of
never
just
seen him go that long.
downloading
He's just going
information.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I like when they're plugged into the chair because their eyes, you can see their eyes twitching and everything. Man,
It was cool.
but yeah, he's just being programmed into, and that's the kind of thing. But it's not enough to know everything. You have to know that you can bend the rules because your mind is used to thinking of these physical laws that we have.
Right.
So once you start knowing that there is no actual physical laws and that someone actually just wrote them, the things you can do, it's really kind of crazy.
It is crazy. And gosh, it makes you wonder.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the fight scene now.
Okay.
Against Morpheus.
Are we talking about the dojo scene? Dojo scene, yeah.
We have to talk about it. It's
Why
so
did I say
awesome when because the scene's set up such a badass way when he goes, what did you learn? And he goes everything. And
Everything,
he goes,
yeah.
show me. And then you know it's fucking on. And then Mouse, one of the rebels, he runs into the
May he
kitchen
rest
or whatever.
in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. He runs to the kitchen and he goes, Morpheus is fighting Neo. And they all run like a high school fight.
They were excited to watch that.
Yeah, because they don't know. Neo doesn't know at this point that he's supposed to be the one. But everyone around him knows. So they think this guy. And it's fucking awesome. They use so many different actual fight styles. It's unbelievable. And the choreography is so good, man. I couldn't believe they got fucking I don't know, Lawrence Fishburne to look like he's going so fucking fast.
I know. I was very impressed with that, too, because that was my first concern.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw that they were about to
it's-
fight, I was like, oh, I don't know about this.
But it looked great. This is how great the fight choreographer was, the one that we talked about later, is that he said each and every person was not perfect at everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he used their fight style as each and to write it into the story. So he said Lawrence Fishburne was really disciplined or something. So he made that fight style just really disciplined. And he said Hugo Weaving was very precise in his fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So they made his fighting style very precision. And he said Keanu was just like really able to learn anything.
Yeah.
So he could do anything.
Versatile.
And Trinity, she was very feminine and very light on her feet. So he made it. So it just worked perfectly for everyone.
It does.
But yeah, it took him like months and months to work for like the wire work and everything like that. Because I guess it's super complicated on those wires.
Oh, I could imagine.
Because you can like flip yourself upside down on accident.
Super easily.
Yeah, and they can't get back up for some reason. But yeah, so they fight, and Morpheus wins.
He does win.
He says, "You're not opening up your mind." He says, "You think I won because I'm faster?" He says, "No,
No.
it's because I believe I can do anything. Neo can't." Then they open up the jump simulation. That's a good scene too.
It is
Really famous.
It's a great
scene where it's supposed to press his actual skills of what he believes. And if he made it the first try, he would have definitely been the one. And he doesn't make it. So now people are
But
doubting.
no one's ever made it.
No one's ever made it.
No one's ever made it.
But you
That's
think
what
if
they always
he's
say.
this
but if
god-
he's the one, he should have made it.
So at this point, everyone's like, God. And
Not
Cypher's
again.
like, fucking
I know.
hell.
I was like, another one. Fuck. I just want to go back into the Matrix. That's all I'm trying to do here.
So the group goes and sees the Oracle, and the Oracle is something super fucking cool and unique. 'Cause she's this, it gets into it later on in the sequels, but she's this kind of weird offshoot program. She's not real.
Yeah.
She's a 100% program.
Right. But she's been around since the early days.
Exactly. And but she's like this program that even the AI of the Matrix can't control.
Yeah.
She's somehow able to like bounce around from unit to unit and she can tell the future.
She can. And she tells everyone the future.
Everyone.
Who goes and sees her. But what she says is it's only meant for you. So you're not technically allowed to tell anyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is another thing where I was talking about like the bug is like a real bug and it's a computer bug, is she's giving them cookies. If you know, cookies in computer are bits of information.
Yes, they are.
So when she handed him a cookie and then handed him his fortune, she was handing him a literal cookie and a computer.
Pretty good.
Something cool.
It is cool.
The
It
writing
is
goes deep. But yeah, the Oracle pretty much tells him that you're not the one.
Right.
Straight up brutal.
Well, and she also tells him that it's either going to be him that dies or Morpheus.
Yep.
But it has to be either one.
And it's this cool thing because they're all hiding their because Morpheus, if he thinks you're the one, immediately takes you to the Oracle, and the Oracle tells you some shit that just ruins your life every time. We see the entire time that Trinity knows something that was told to her.
Yeah.
And it's hinted at the entire time that you don't know it yet.
Well, it was fascinating to me, and I picked up on it really early because Anderson asks, or Neo rather. I don't know why I keep calling him Anderson.
Well, that's his real name.
Yeah, it's his real name. Yeah. But Neo, he goes by that.
They
too.
don't use their names after they enter the Matrix.
Yeah. But Neo asked Trinity, well, what did the Oracle tell you? As the elevator opens, she doesn't say anything. And then he asks Morpheus right before he's introduced to Oracle, and he doesn't say anything either.
Yeah. So they're all, because it's. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe they can't tell or something, but yeah, it's something you have to kind of keep to your own
yourself.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never. I don't know if you ever know Morpheus. I think Morpheus is he was meant to find the one. I think that was his.
Yes, that was his, and then obviously we find out later with
Trinity that she would fall in love with the one.
Yeah,
but she would eventually something would happen to her. So they going from the Oracle and they get ambushed by agents.
they do.
And they run into the building, into this like derelict building where there's supposed to be a hardline or something like that.
Yep.
And Neo sees something out of place. And I say this all the time now. If I ever get deja vu or I ever hear, I go, "Oh, glitch in the Matrix," because that's the program of.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
Well, he saw the black cat once,
and he saw black.
and then he
cat
saw
once,
the same black cat again. They go, "Whoa, what?" As they're walking up the
But
stairs.
it's such good writing to add in something that humans can't explain. No one can explain deja vu. It's just,
and it does happen.
It's been
too.
around.
That's what's weird.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's sometimes I'll be like,
I've had full conversations with
the
someone,
hell?
and I feel like we've had this conversation before. Like I've seen exactly this before, and no one can explain it.
nope.
It's such a hard thing
It's
because.
still a phenomenon
Yeah.
no one knows anything about.
But they use this. The Wachowskis use that to explain a glitch.
Yeah.
Like, because that's when you feel like before even knowing the Matrix, when you see deja vu, that's what it feels like, a glitch. Like something's running back on accident. But yeah, he sees a cat and he sees it again. And as soon as he goes, "Oh, weird, deja vu," they immediately turn around and go,
What?
"What the fuck did you just say?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw one cat." And they go, "Where was it? The exact cat?"
He goes, I don't know, maybe.
But the cat does like a stretch and the cat does a stretch again. So you know immediately. And they go, "Oh, fuck." They go, "The system's been changed," and they run up to the top, but it's too late for fucking for Mouse.
It is too late for Mouse. He does not make it much longer.
Turns around, they fucking changed the exits.
They
They
did.
walled them,
They walled him up.
and this guy
They
has
lit him up.
This guy's got such an awesome death. He gets out 2 drum. These are shotguns.
Yeah.
2 automatic drum. And unfortunately, doesn't kill anyone.
No, he doesn't.
And that was always bitter for. I wanted him to get some kills with those guys.
No, right? You figure they would have gave him a few. That would have been fun.
But he was
no, he was killed.
Killed quick.
He
And
was.
they go into the walls to try to escape. And again, an awesome fucking scene when
Awesome intense, too.
when fucking Lawrence Fishburne's in the wall and he's just getting ready to pop out, and he immediately pops out and just starts straight. Remember the headbutts he delivers, and the sound effects that headbutt makes are so. It sounds like meat smacking meat for sure.
Yeah, it does.
But it does nothing to him,
No.
Agent Smith.
It does
He
not.
kind of laughs it off, and he gives him a fucking chop to the neck, and that's it from there. But it's
And this
such
is-
an awesome scene.
It is. And then when Morpheus is trying to fight the agent, he tells everyone to run. And at this point, I go, oh, the prophecy is being fulfilled.
Yes.
I really thought in that moment
Oh,
alone
yeah.
he would die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because no one fights an agent and lives.
No. But they needed information out of him.
They did.
So they kept him. But man, do they beat the shit out of him.
They...
When he leaves after beating the shit out of him, and he goes, okay, take him. And the cops come and start beating the shit out of him.
It's like, God dang. Can this guy catch a break?
Brutal. And we learned that if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real life. Because the body can't live without a mind. So they take Morpheus, and we learned that it was all Cypher.
It was.
Cypher is wanting to go back into the Matrix.
And they-
Such an interesting concept.
And it is an interesting concept. And, too, I love the way that they set it up because he went to dinner with Agent Smith. And he's basically being like, yeah, I hate the real life. Send me back into the Matrix. And I don't know. Give me a good life.
Well, yeah, he
Make
wants to
me
be a
comfortable.
millionaire.
I want to be rich.
And the big thing is, I don't want to remember anything. Which, in my mind, even if it's the first time I watched it, I always assumed there's no way they were putting him back. Ever.
No, they would kill him.
Why would not just unplug him after they after
of
the guy,
course.
which is insane. But that was the whole thing. Is Cypher was so desperate at that point just to get, and he's such a piece of shit. This guy is such a piece of shit.
And it's fascinating, too, and you almost have to look at this as a condition of humans. Like, in a scenario like this, I guarantee there would be countless people who would be okay to go back into a simulation rather than live the real world.
Majority of people, yeah, absolutely. But, in my mind, you can't, even if they forgot everything, how could you willingly go back to just a lie? And that was the whole thing, is like once these guys wake up. But Morpheus says a lot of people aren't ready to be woken up.
They're not.
That's why they're not just going around giving everyone fucking pills and making an army.
And I love the way that scene is set up with Cypher and Agent Smith because he goes, you see this steak here?
I know it's not real.
I know it's not real.
I know when I put it in my mouth. Yeah, exactly.
It's just my brain telling me through the but I love that. I love that
It's
scene
so
because
good.
it's so good and it really puts that character, you totally get his perspective, whether or not you agree with it or not, you understand where he's coming from.
Oh, yeah. Because he thought he was lied to. They gave him the same proposal they gave Neil. Oh, you're the one, whatever, and they're going to give you so.
You were lied to.
Because Cypher, if you don't know, is fucking Latin or whatever for 0. 0 comes before the 1.
Right.
There you go. Exactly.
Again.
Anything you see in this movie has a reason for it, and that's what I love about it. Everything you see has a reason that it's there. But so they're escaping or whatever, and Cypher is the first one to get out.
Yep.
Bad.
Never a good move.
Bad.
Never let the
Yeah,
guy
no wonder he
named
was
Cypher
first to volunteer. Yeah, because he starts unplugging people, which fucking
kills him.
Is a shit move.
Yeah.
Because you're not even fighting. It's not even death. You're fighting an agent.
You're being
already.
a coward.
Unplugging someone. Oh man. He unplugs everyone and he electrifies fucking Tank. Fries his ass.
Fries him.
Fries everyone on the crew.
Yep.
But luckily one crew member lives.
He does, but before
Tank's brother.
Before we find that out, that scene with him and Trinity when he's over her dead, or not her dead body, but her body.
Yeah, we didn't dive into that,
body.
but there's a whole thing of he was in love with Trinity.
He was.
And it always fucking drove him nuts because he knew the Oracle said that she would fall in love with the one.
And he wanted to be the one.
And he thought he was the one.
Yeah.
Brutal. Cypher, you
tough
moron.
Tough. Love is tough, man.
Love is tough. Especially when Oracle's telling you who you're going to love.
It's true.
So Cypher was really bitter about everything.
He
Yeah,
was.
that monologue that he's giving to Trinity when he's just like staring into her, it's
creepy
so
too,
well
man.
delivered,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, so he's unplugging. Someone lives. Dozer.
Yeah.
Dozer lives, Tank's brother. Tank, unfortunately.
No
Fried.
longer with us. Yeah. Brutal.
But he does end up killing Cypher.
He does.
Frying Cypher in return. It's a good death. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. There's only he killed Switch, which we didn't even bring up, but Switch was another person, and Switch has an interesting character or interesting story. That character was originally written where when she was in the Matrix, she was a female, or when she was out of the Matrix, she was a female, and when she was put in the Matrix, she was supposed to be a man. That's why
Really?
she was Switch.
Okay.
But the exec said, no, that's just a little too liberal for us. That's a little too lefty.
1999, yeah, probably.
So that's why the only thing that changes when she goes in the Matrix is she's wearing white instead of everyone wearing black.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing. But she was supposed to be, the male and the woman were supposed to be like Andromedus. They're supposed to be interchangeable.
Right.
But yeah, they gave her the whole role. But yes, kills her. It's a sad death because she just drops like a fucking sack of rocks.
Not much you can do.
Yeah. But there's Dozer. Morpheus is still alive because Cypher didn't kill him because the agents need him. And so now Trinity and Neo, only ones left. They got to go save Morpheus.
They do.
And the last 45 minutes of this movie is just one big fight scene.
It is. Yeah.
It goes
really
on
is.
from the start of them going into the high-rise building and shooting all the security.
Yep.
It's nonstop until the very end. Because you got to think, after this, we get the train scene, we get the chase scene, and then we get the final battle, whatever.
But I really like the big dramatic moment when Neo and Trinity are talking about unplugging Morpheus for the cause, for the better good. And at that time, Neo goes, hold on. He kind of has an epiphany right there.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, the Oracle said either him or I.
So he goes,
so I'm
"Give me
going
the
in to
chance."
say,
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Well, because he knows that he's not the one. So he's like,
Right.
why me die?
and have him live, and maybe you guys can find the one.
Exactly.
It was this, again, to be the one, to be the prophet, Messiah, whatever you want to, you have to have a self-sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that was another deep tie where it was Neo sacrificing himself for the better good.
Oh, absolutely. And
Which
there's
is
so
which
many.
in return is the
Yeah,
one.
and there's a lot of religious ties.
There is.
I mean, this movie.
Religious and even like Greek mythology and stuff too.
Well,
like just so much.
Well, Greek philosophy, Christian, so many religions. I mean, it's so many different aspects of this movie that were pulled from other things. But yeah, so he says, "Give me a chance. Let's go in there. Let's see if we can get him out." And they're thinking, "Well, you can't. He's with agents. You can't go in there with agents."
No.
So he says, "I think I could fucking do it," and he does it. And they get literally an arsenal of weapons.
They do.
They say, "We're gonna need guns." I love that scene, and then just fucking guns.
Just the biggest gun rack I've ever seen in my life.
And
it's
I
like
love the
4
scene when
things.
they go through the metal detector, and the cop goes, "He goes,
doesn't
anything
open-
metal?
Yeah, anything metal. He opens up
What
his,
the hell? These poor bastards.
Didn't know what the fuck was coming. I feel so bad. Pray for him because they just get lit
What
up.
a shootout, though, man. So
was
one of
awesome.
the best ever. When Trinity's running on the wall, dodging the bullets,
Yep.
and they're just kicking. And it's so the continuity of how destroyed everything gets and the bullets. It's just perfect, man.
You know
Perfect.
that one pillar at the
Oh,
end?
trust
where
me, I know.
It,
Yeah.
it collapses. That
Yeah.
wasn't actually in the script. They just caught that on camera because it just fell naturally
Yeah.
from the damage.
And it was perfect. The editing was perfect for that.
It was.
There's a really funny behind the scenes clip of them doing that big shootout scene. And Keanu, he's like behind a pillar and he's going to run and he trips on like a piece of rubble and it falls right out in front of him. And it's like they have to like reset. Like,
Oh, that sucks.
it's brutal. It's a
Yeah.
funny scene though, because he's just laying there laughing and they're all like, all right, let's set it back up. It's brutal though. But yeah, so they blow up like half the building.
They do.
Awesome fucking explosion. Get up to the roof, I guess, right?
Yep.
And then that's when they meet an agent. Not Agent Smith, but a different agent. And, they've already talked about that they can dodge bullets.
Right.
So, but Neo thinks he can dodge bullets too. They both were relying on the same set of roles.
Yeah,
and
you
they
gotta
both did
believe.
the same thing. Yeah. So this is probably the most iconic moment of I mean, of the film, and it just
for sure, because this
bullet,
was
the bullet,
the bullet scene, because this was the scene that I would always see from The Matrix, and I never saw
of satire in so many the bullet time. They invented this bullet time. Yeah, but he gets shot at, and he's almost fast enough to dodge the bullets, but not enough,
but not quite,
because he's still human.
He is.
He's not the one yet.
He gets grazed a couple times.
Oh, barely. But they end up killing, because it's such an awesome scene when she goes up and she goes, dodge this. And she puts the gun to the back of the guy's head.
Yeah, and shoots him. That was
They're
awesome.
fast. They're not that fucking fast, though. Not point blank. But they get into a helicopter somehow. They manage to jump into a helicopter, and the helicopter running into the building.
The building was awesome.
With the waves of it's so real. I mean, so like the physics of, and then the waves catching up and then shattering all. Apparently they got big in trouble because this was all filmed in Australia because they couldn't film it here. It would have been too expensive.
Right.
But they got big trouble because they flew that helicopter way too low in airspace in Sydney. And they just changed the law for this movie.
Really?
They changed the law, yeah. They said, okay, it's okay. Yeah, we can do it for this movie. But so, yeah, they run into, eventually they get Morpheus out. Because Morpheus is being drugged and he's being tortured.
I love that scene, too, because he's got the giant 50 cal, and he's just shooting through
Morpheus
all
breaking
the windows,
through the fucking chains, and him running out because he can barely move because he's all fucked up.
And he goes, he's not going to make it. And he jumps out with him and catches him, and he goes, with one arm, he's like, I got you.
Well, the bullet of him on the minigun and in the water because the faucets went off because of fire, but the bullet hitting the water and it's shooting all the Smiths or whatever, and him running. Just a beautiful scene.
It was
just so beautiful, but
great shooting too. Because I don't know how you missed. Well,
he's the one.
Yeah, that's true.
And don't forget, he's been loaded in 9,000 hours of probably gun practice. So he's probably a pretty good shot. But yeah, they end up getting Morpheus out of there.
They do.
They end up getting him out of the Matrix, actually, and then he comes out, and you're fine when you could be drugged up in the Matrix, but you kind of walk out of it, and you're good. You're good to go. But things are going bad because they know in the real world, they know where the Nebuchadnezzar is. Mm-hmm. So the Sentinels, these giant squid monsters.
Yeah, kind of like squid
robotic
things.
Crazy. They're just crazy killing machines. They start ripping apart the Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. Why Neo's still in there. Yeah,
still in the Matrix. And he gets out.
So it's like it's a time frame thing.
Yeah.
Because he's getting out, he goes down to the subway to get the payphone line. Mm-hmm. You got to think, Matrix today, a lot less payphones. So it's a lot less landline. No one has a landline.
No one has one.
So you'd be running house to house trying to connect to something, and you couldn't. Difficult with cell phones. I don't wonder how they're going to... well, I don't know. Maybe it will still be 1999.
Could be.
But, so he goes, and Agent Smith's waiting for him. They have another epic fucking fight.
Yeah, they do.
This
was one of my favorites, too, the subway scene.
The choreography is awesome. So good. But he one-ups Agent Smith.
He does, because he believes now. He can bend the rules.
Absolutely. Well, he doesn't... I mean... He doesn't
bend him.
He doesn't know he's the one still. He's still second-guessing it. So... but yeah, he kills Agent Smith, but he just comes right back because, they're agents.
He walks out of the subway again.
Yeah, such an awesome new body. Scene. Yeah, and
you got to feel bad for that homeless man that he took over his body.
Yeah, and it always looks painful.
Yeah.
It's never fun.
No.
So they're running. Again, it's a race against the clock. They're running. The fucking Nebuchadnezzar's got fucking cyber squids attacking them. They're about to do the whatever the bomb is, electric EMP electric impulse bomb or whatever. But to do that, everyone's got to be unconnected from the internet. Yep. It's like resetting the Wi-Fi.
Of course.
Everyone log out because shit's going to go down. But first they got to get him out. So he's racing to this telephone, and Smith fucking catches him there.
He does.
Predicts it.
Yep.
Point blank, dirty deagle, desert eagle to the chest.
Not good.
And I love that they did that he's just... This is what makes this bad guy so good is that there's no fucking big long speech or anything.
No, where
he's there for one job.
Whatever. Mm-hmm.
Kill these guys. Kill all of them.
Yep.
And he does. He packs them full of lead, shoots them a lot, and all the agents, they're a fucking high five.
They're having a good time.
We're out of here, bros. Retirement. Let's go. And not the case.
No.
And they ended up doing the Impulse after, because Neo dies. They show he goes flatline. Yep. Impulse, guess what? Doesn't need the Matrix.
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't fucking need it.
You want to know why? Because
Is
Trinity tells him.
Yep.
She whispers in his ear to his dead corpse, "You are the Oracle told me that I would fall in love with the one.
Absolutely.
You are the one." And she romantically kisses him.
And he fucking, that kicks something up.
Well, kicks something up.
Oh, absolutely. That guy was packing wood for sure.
That is for sure.
But yeah, he wakes up in the Matrix, and he's got bullet holes in him too. Yep. And the look on Agent Smith when he turns around, he's like,
what?
That's not supposed to happen. Shoots a bunch of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
He's God now.
He is God.
Now
he can
God.
Stop bullets.
And you gotta think, maybe if this was fucking like biblical times or whatever, like this would be Jesus. If it was actual, like if it was a program from the very beginning of times, that maybe that Jesus was a guy that somehow woke up and was maybe the first
and knew.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he was able to do these miracles.
Yes,
because he was able to bend the. I'm telling you, man, you can get so deep into this thing that you could just, I don't know,
you can lose your mind.
Absolutely. I don't recommend it to anyone.
It's the same thing where it's just like figuring out like the what the hell. The life, Earth, like
or what the
being
point
in the middle of space, what the point of anything is.
It's a very philosophical movie. That's all I can say about it. It's just very philosophical. But he stops the bullets. This doesn't make Agent Smith happy. He goes, and I love the run up because he starts punching the air and he's pissed. But Neo, he starts to take steps back, one-handed. It's so fucking cool.
The defense.
Well, he's fucking with him for a minute.
You have to.
And then he gives him just one push, and that just blows him back 30 feet.
It does.
Then full-on fucking sprint jumps into his chest. And that's where the other agents are like, this is not good.
Those two other agents looking at each other like...
And they take off running.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to deal with this anymore.
Because what he's doing is deleting the program completely. So for the first time, these AIs are
on
experiencing
the run themselves.
death.
Yeah.
So that really fucking scares him. So he jumps into Agent Smith and he deletes the program the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
From the inside. But he just ends up blowing up, and that's the end of it. You know that he is now a god. And we get that last little epilogue of... which was everyone's thought watching this movie originally was like, oh my God, you could do anything now. Start flying
Right.
I'm so glad they added it in at the very end of him just taking off and flying up.
Like Superman. Yeah. Exactly. Just shooting up all the way to the clouds, man.
Just his little fucking cape or whatever, the leather. A lot of leather in this, man. A lot of leather. This was the fucking look. These sunglasses, like all this sunglasses look and everything was fucking... People couldn't figure out how fucking Lawrence Fishburne kept those glasses on his head. So cool, though.
Oh, man.
It's just pure coolness. That's it, man. That's the Matrix for you.
Man, and it was, needless to be said, but it was
Was it as good?
It.
Was it as good, do you think, as the hype?
It was everything I expected. However, when there's one thing, and I may have misinterpreted this, but I had thought that there was going to be, based on everyone that I've talked to, including you, that I thought there was going to be some, like, crazy twist at the end. So initially in the beginning of the film, I was like, oh, Morpheus is the bad guy.
Oh,
when he's doing the phone thing,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no, there's not a big twist. But philosophically, there are a lot of questions throughout the film that they're trying to tell the audience.
It's just really hard because you watched this movie 21 years after it came out. So the big twist is probably maybe the thing that you're always hearing about was that because no one knew what the movie was.
Right, yeah.
So when you went into it and you saw that there's a fake world, that's kind of the big twist is like, oh, this world. But I'm sure over time you've heard all these things about the Matrix.
I had. Yeah.
So it'd be really cool if you could go in completely blind and watch it. And then I think you would but yeah, you've heard all these things for so long that you probably had already some conceptions about what was going to happen.
Yeah, and that is true too. That's
that was
point
the
that
twist.
I didn't think about.
The twist was that there's no real world.
Yeah.
But you probably knew
and
that.
I already knew
of course,
that. I already knew it was like a multi-universe thing.
Yeah.
So that actually does make sense. Yeah. Maybe that's why everyone would talk about the big twist, but I already knew the twist.
And maybe the twist is that he's actually the one, but obviously there wouldn't be a movie if he wasn't
the one. Yeah.
So I don't think that's the big twist, but But yeah, maybe
But it was
also
awesome.
that he can get just fucking superpowers at the end.
That's
Just
a good
start
point.
blowing. You got to see him in the next ones. He just, he just obliterates everyone.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, they're worth watching. I don't know if they're worth reviewing, but now that
Now
watch,
that I'm
you
in,
have
I
to.
gotta watch
You
the
have
other
to
two.
for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, and we're going to review Matrix 4 when it comes out,
Without a doubt.
unquestionably. The same we're going to do with John Wick 4. So, I mean, might as well get to them.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. And you like sci-fi and shit, and this
I love
is sci-fi at its best.
At its best, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, overall, like this was a phenomenal film. Like I really enjoyed it. I finally got to sit down and watch the whole thing. I needed a reason to. I think when I confessed 2 years ago that I hadn't, I was kind of waiting for us to review this. And we were going to review it on the 20th anniversary when it was
came to
re-released.
theaters,
but
we missed it.
We missed it because it was that one weekend we were gone, or I was gone, or something like that. But now I've seen The Matrix, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it's The Matrix. Everyone fucking knows what The Matrix is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you've gone that time and haven't seen it, it can be like a big like endeavor. Like I'm only now I feel like I'm only going to be disappointed in this movie. So it's kind of scary to see something that people talk so highly about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be like going and see the Lord of the Rings or whatever, having nothing to know about it, and never seeing it and being like, well, people talk about this movie like it's a gift from God.
Yeah.
So you can only be disappointed about that, but I'm never disappointed when I watch this film.
No,
I love everything. I love the color aspect of it. Just there's nothing wrong with this film in my mind.
and it's like a 2 hour and 20-minute film, but I did not feel like it was that long.
No, it's perfect.
You
I'm
know?
telling you, those last 45 minutes go like they're 4 minutes.
They do.
Fight scenes just go quick for me. So I mean, but yeah, I love it. I mean, if you haven't seen The Matrix yet, I don't know if there's very many people that haven't.
No, I might have been one of the few.
You might have been.
Yeah.
Like a unicorn or something. You know, the last. But
Gonna have to saw this.
I'm glad you have,
falling
though.
off my head.
I'm glad you have.
Yes, sir.
Now you are part of the cult.
I'm glad. I'm glad to be a part.
Yeah,
Glad
now
to be
you
a
can
part.
dive into, you can start playing the video game,
Uh-huh.
you start playing the comic
Yeah,
books,
start reading the
this
comic
can
books.
become your
Yeah,
new
absolutely.
religion. It's great.
I'm like, we're all in a simulation.
Just so you know, they do bring Hugo Weaving back, though, in the next two.
Okay.
So he's not, he's not, that is a spoiler.
Yeah.
But they show him right at the start of the same one, just so, because he is still a bad guy. Because I'm sure after seeing this, you're thinking he's not going to come back because they deleted his ass. But he does come back.
He does come back. Okay.
He ends up,
Is it explained at least or no?
oh, yeah, absolutely. He ends
Okay.
up, whatever happened to him ended up making him like a glitch, a bug or something. So he's able to
manipulate the
he's
system.
able to do new things in the second one.
Okay.
More powerful.
Wow. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, that does that wrap it up, Cash?
That wraps it up. That's an
Okay.
hour long.
Well, that was fun. That was fun and well worth watching. And I'm glad I finally got to watch it. It is cool too. You know, we have a movie podcast, and it's cool to like do a big film like this. I mean, because it's crazy. It's crazy. I've never actually watched this film
Blew me away when
in
you
its
told me that.
entirety, and we were able to do an hour podcast on it. So
There's so many times that I would have quoted The Matrix just during our friendship, and I haven't been able to because I'm like every time I think I go, wait, he's fucking never seen it. He would have no idea what I was talking about. But now
you can.
Now
You can
every
use them
time
forever.
someone says deja vu, you can go, oh fuck, glitch.
What did you say?
Start checking the windows.
It's a glitch in the Matrix. All right. Well, that is our review for The Matrix, guys. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. We drop videos on this channel every single day. If you're listening on podcast format, we have our podcast is available everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus, and until next time.
Bye.